Making the catfish sing. Lise would like to ask Gyoto a few questions. Right then, Gyoto should be coming round soon. I think it's time we had a little chat, don't you? They just laid him face down. Rise and shine, little fishy. I know you can hear me, so stop pretending to be asleep, or I'll give you another ride on my boot. No more boots. All my secrets are yours for the asking. Tell us what you know about Yugiri and Gosetsu. Every last detail. And if I find out later that you lied to me... No more lies. The clear, unvarnished truth. You have my word. Only the samurai did I meet. Yes, only him. He asked after a ship, so I provided an introduction to the Garleans. You mean you led him into a trap as you did us, because you are an Imperial spy? No, I am no spy. It was just business. Fewer ships pass through Kugane these days, and we have struggled to make ends meet. So when the Garleans offered a bounty for any domins found in Kugane... Oh, my mistake. You're not a spy, but a common cutthroat. Not that I'm surprised. You need half a brain to be a spy. So what happened to the samurai? Such a cruel, vicious tongue you have. He would not go quietly. No. Blades were drawn. Men were cut down, and the Sekisagumi came. They took the samurai away. Yeah, I think I remember this. And then we go check on the Sekisagumi, and they're like having like samurai lessons or, sword lessons or whatever with Gosetsu. Hold on a moment. You mean to tell me the Aijin they arrested the other day was Gosetsu? Oh, had I but known. If he is in the custody of the Sekisagumi, I need only see to it that the requisite funds find their way into the right official's hands, and your friend will walk free. That's great, corrupt police. As it is in Ul'dah, so it is in Kugane. But given the circumstances, it seems we have no choice but to resort to morally questionable means. We'll make a pragmatist of you yet, Master Alphino. Yeah, Alphino is definitely an idealist over a pragmatist. I have never laid eyes upon the sacred treasures of Eorzea. My heart fair trembles with excitement at the thought. I didn't think to include bribes when I was calculating our budget for this trip. I'm glad we finally learned what happened to him, but did we really need to stir up all that trouble to do so? I hope I never have to carry a Namazu again. He's not heavy, but God's the smell. I have given you everything you have asked for. Yes? Then there is no need for me to remain your prisoner? One of these days, I may just punch that man in the face. He really does not like Hancock. To me, like Hancock... I mean, he is just like that quintessential, like businessman, merchant, or whatever. Like, as long as you play the game, as it were, like, he's... as trustworthy as anybody else or whatever. As long as the money's good. You are free to wait here while I speak with the relevant official. But if you would rather wait for Gosetsu outside the barracks, we can go together. I wouldn't put it past the Imperials to try something again, so mayhap it would be best if Lise, Lavenza, and I joined you. Alright. But what about Gyoto? I will keep an eye on him for the time being. We can release him after you return with Gosetsu. He will doubtless have some choice words to say to the little fellow. Soroban, mayhap it would be prudent to prepare your ship for our immediate departure. As you wish. Yeah, I wonder how Soroban is able to travel the Ruby Sea. You know, with the Confederacy and I mean, because it seemed like, I mean, from what I remember, we meet up with the Confederacy. We certainly do some stuff for them, but I don't know how everybody else works with them. You know, again, with Kugane, like, not dealing with them anymore. Everything is in order? Then let us be off. The Sekisugumi barracks are to the north. Talking tortoises, talking catfish. I tell you, though, it's when the bears start talking that you need to worry. That, my friend, spells the end of civilization as we know it. And I want to say that there's, like this, I remember seeing this screenshotted in like a meme more recently. But we haven't had talking bears in the game, so I don't know that I can think of anyway. You need not worry. I swear I will not let him out of my sight. In fact, I may have some more questions of my own. No more lies, no more betrayals. Yes, yes, I swear by all the kami in creation. Trying to think again. There was no talking bears. But I know there was definitely a meme with that, but whatever. Yeah, and I can just go to the Sekisugumi barracks. Wanted to make sure I got the name right before I... I hope Hancock is as good as his word. This looks a bit fancy for a barracks, don't you think? I must ask that you wait here. You may be assured that this will not take long. Is it really going to be as simple as he says, do you think? He said it wouldn't take long, right? Because this feels a bit long to me. Calm down, Lise. Everything is going to be alright, much as I hate to admit it. I share Hancock's dim view of government officials and their supposed incorruptibility. From what I've... Wait. Yeah, it was dim. Dim view. Oh well. I was just thinking, would Grim... Anyway, from what I've gleaned of the Far East, they're probably exchanging lengthy pleasantries. There seems to be a correct way to do everything here, bribery being no exception. I say we leave them to it, right, Lavenza? I hope Hancock... Oh, yeah. Right. Everything's fine. Probably. I mean... It couldn't be as bad as the last time we stood around waiting for something to happen.
How about you?
That was Gazetsu. I'm sure of it. He's in trouble. Lise, wait!
I suppose we should follow her then.
I think a shrug would have been more appropriate there.
Victory to the samurai! How many is that now? 10 in a row?
Gazetsu!
Oh, this is a surprise! What in blue blazes are you three doing here?
I could ask you the same thing. We've been looking all over for you, and then I suddenly heard you screaming.
It would seem there has been a misunderstanding. Allow me to explain.
I actually wouldn't mind hearing this story.
So, in summary, you started a brawl with some off-duty Imperial soldiers and were subsequently arrested by the Sekisugumi, whom you somehow befriended and convinced to set you free if you could defeat a given number of them in single combat.
10 bouts for my freedom, aye. 'Tis but a pity you came too late to witness the last one. And with that, I'm free to go, yes?
Our word once given may not be broken, but we pray you make every effort to avoid future altercations. Circumstances notwithstanding, my lord, we are honored and grateful to have witnessed firsthand the skill of a Doma samurai.
Ah, and we had just concluded negotiations. I gather my assistance was not required.
So did they start, like, sparring or whatever? Like, after he already passed through that courtyard? And he just, or what? You know, because it implies he didn't know that they were doing that. And did they do 10 bouts in a row? Because if they, I don't know, just logistically it seems odd to me. "'Twas not for naught, at least. Our friend in the Sekisugumi is willing to consider this an investment of sorts, a payment against future misgivings. To be honest, I wish I had seen that fight. Just when I think I've heard everything. Once more to the Ruby Sea. Nice. For a man who has just defeated 10 samurai in a row, Gosetsu is looking rather sheepish. Yeah, again, if he just fought 10 samurai in a row, how long were we waiting that Hancock... I mean, either Hancock did not pay attention to the dudes fighting off to his right, or they came out after he walked through the courtyard, which means we would have been waiting for a while. I must apologize that you endured such trials and tribulations in search of me. There's no need for that. You had no way of knowing we would come looking for you. You were after a ship to take you to Doma, yes? It just so happens we found a willing captain. Truly? What fortune? We will tell you all about it back at the company offices. Alphino and Tataru are waiting for us there. Yeah, how is Gosetsu gonna react to Gyoto? Okay, Ruby Bazaar. Gosetsu, thank the 12 you are unharmed. As you can see, Master Alphino, I am the very picture of health. You, vile fiend, malevolent trickster. How kind the kami are to grant me vengeance so soon, but first I demand you return the coin you so villainously embezzled from me. You have every right to be angry, good sir. Gladly would I return to you your coin, had I not been forced to repay certain gambling debts beforehand. Setting that matter aside for the moment, where is Lady Yugiri? Was she not traveling with you? For a time, aye, but we parted ways some while ago, the better to improve our chances of finding Lord Hien. Lord Hien? Forgive me, I have yet to explain. Lord Hien is the heir to Doma's throne and our master. His was a passionate voice for the cause of Doman liberation, and when we learned of the Emperor's death, it only grew louder. So you seized upon the opportunity and rose up to reclaim your freedom, only for your hopes to be dashed when Xenos led his army into your lands. The Crown Prince was a merciless foe. Against him and the might of the 12th, we had no chance. Once Lord Hien understood this, he bade Yugiri take to the sea with as many of our people as possible. He, however, would stand and fight, that they might have more time to escape. I remained by his side as well, and together we carried on our doomed war. And then, one day in a fierce battle, we were separated. I knew not what became of him, only that he was beyond the Empire's reach, and that to find him I would need Yugiri's aid. The situation grows more perilous by the day, for the new Viceroy, Yotsuyu, is a black-hearted villainess who delights in the torment of our people. There is naught she would not do to further her pursuit of Lord Hien. Thank you. I believe that makes matters a good deal clearer. It should please you to learn that we are come to aid the Doman Liberation Front in resuming their efforts to overthrow their imperial oppressors. Then allow me to join you. My inquiries here bore no fruit, hence my desire to return to Othard. Once there, I can lead you to our headquarters in Yangsha, where we shall all be reunited with Yugiri. Mayhap not all. Alphino's talents would seem better applied here in Kugane, working closely with Tataru and Hancock to feed us intelligence. There's a Garlean embassy just down the road, after all. While I appreciate the vote of confidence, I should be glad to accompany you all as a soldier in the field, so to speak. Come now, brother. A competent commander assists his soldiers, or assigns his soldiers the task best suited to them, as you of all people should know. And you are so very good at espionage and intrigue. For we all must serve, each in our own way. Very well. It would seem my place is here. So it looks like in this expansion, Alize is our traveling companion. Soroban is waiting at the pier. Have fun, you lot. Okay, and now... And Pier 2 is the one over by the hostelry, right? Yes. I'm learning. I'm learning. Ah, a Kojin captain. A fine choice. Only Confederate sailors rival their knowledge and skill. This one's smaller than the Misery. A lot smaller. I know Alphino can hold his own in a fight, but he is plainly better suited to more cerebral tasks. Surely I'm not alone in thinking that. I have been waiting for you, my friends. All preparations have been completed, and my ship awaits its passengers. Shall we depart without further delay? What will you say? After you, my shelled friend. Hold that thought. After you, my shelled friend. If you insist. With me, everyone. The Ruby Sea awaits. In a new zone intro narration.
I remember the water, how it turned crimson in the morning sun.
Would have been nice to have this in the morning then.
A shimmering sea of rubies, stretching from horizon to horizon. You could almost believe it went on forever. But beyond that red expanse lay a land in turmoil. On the shores of Othard, our Doman brothers struggled in vain.
Somewhere out there across the water is Yugiri and Gosetsu's homeland. Woe betide any enemy foolish enough to attack by sea. Now, if the Garleans were to bring their airships, on the other hand... The Hingans built this island as a bulwark against invasion, and filled it with enough cannons to sink an armada. How wide and beautiful she is, the Ruby Sea, filled with promise and adventure and treasures. Many wonderful treasures. Open water. One does not simply cross the Ruby Sea, as Soroban well knows. Now, in order to reach the shores of Othard, you will need to cross the resplendent waters you see before you. However, this is easier said than done. To set forth without making the necessary preparations is to invite the Confederacy to claim your vessel and your life should you resist. But this fate can be avoided by paying the Ruby Tithe, thereby earning you the blessing of the Pirate Lords. Okay, so, I mean, it seems people are still doing that, just not a lot of people. They're avoiding the area, I guess. So, let us go and greet them. Our destination is the isle to the west. That doesn't look very far to me. Lavenza, why don't we jump in and swim for it? I've had my fill of boats. An excellent idea. I think you shall find the water to your liking. I will use my ship to deliver those less inclined to the isle. Sorry, Lise, I'm actually just gonna fly. Oh. Yeah, I can still mount up in the water. Right, this should be easy and a good way to loosen up before the next fight, whenever it comes. 20 gil says I beat you there. Not if I cheat. Although, she's already here, so I guess she wins. Not that I have anything against the occasional dip in the ocean, but to dive in on a whim is a bit... Ho, what spirit you two have to delight in this simple joy so readily. Not bad. We'll call it a draw. Ah, there you are. I trust you enjoyed yourselves? Follow me, my friends. The one with whom we must speak is a man named Tansui. I wonder, Laminsan pirates have been known to say things like "arr," but surely pirates on the opposite side of the world would use different expressions. Or "aru," perhaps. Doma's position on the Confederacy could be best described as one of guarded acceptance. They are pirates, aye, but they adhere to a code and are a stabilizing force in the Ruby Sea. This one is Tensui. Come, introduce yourselves. Ugh, my clothes have mostly dried, but they're a bit clingy. Still, no regrets. I fear you have the advantage of me. Most honorable and esteemed Lavenza Shark, I am Tensui, a humble mate who serves at the pleasure of the Confederacy's captain. As you are in the company of the Shellback, I presume we have business to discuss? Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to join me live, the link to my Twitch is in the description down below. Thank you again, and you have a good one.